Kara will explain on my lawn. I intended on mowing my lawn, and as I started to get dressed, it started raining at my house. So now my lawn's getting even longer. I apologize to my neighbors. Eventually I'll get
complaining now?
Well, one of them got lost in it, so.
Okay. When we start seeing cattle grazing on your front lawn, then you know you're really in trouble. But I had that same problem. But, well, when you get home from work this evening, maybe you'll get a chance to go home.
About 12 o'clock at night. I'm sure they'll appreciate that, too.
Well, we did get a little bit more rain today. Not a whole heck of a lot. Officially, we picked up 0.2 of an inch of rain today. But, of course, if you were outside in it, you did get wet. But the rain is mostly gone for us now. We do have a few scattered clouds out there. Sticky once again, dew point 77 degrees, humidity 68%. Southeasterly winds now currently at 18 miles an hour, and they're gusting to about 24. So the breeze is at least, it's actually helping to prevent some of the showers from developing, and it's also helping to keep things a little bit more comfortable. But it is very hot out there. In fact, most of the state in the 90s and in the 80s, 86 degrees are on San Angelo. But you factor in the dew point temperatures, and it feels a lot hotter than that. And in fact, the feel-like temperature right here in Corpus Christi is 102 degrees, feeling like 103 in Waco and 98 degrees in Dallas. Even up into the Panhandle, 91 degrees is the apparent temperature in Amarillo. Now, we have those storms that are in the central part of the state. We had a few showers that made it through the coastal bend earlier in the day. Most of those are gone, but we do have some heavier rains now still north and central part of the state, stretching up in towards the central plain states where they have seen a lot in the way of rainfall. A close-up look at the satellite shot is going to show you that skies really are not too bad. This is a visible satellite shot, which is what it looks like if you're actually taking pictures from outer space, and it doesn't look bad, but we do have a few lingering showers, especially northern sections of B County, moving off towards the north. I think that's about it for tonight, but I think that tomorrow will be another repeat performance. We could see some showers developing by the early morning hours and then moving through the coastal sections and inland by early afternoon to mid-afternoon, but rainfall still should be very much on the light side. Rainfall totals, light blue that you see there, that's only 1/10 of an inch, so most folks did not receive that much rain in the last 24 hours. So about time we start drying out. We have had a line of very strong storms stretching all the way up the Mississippi Valley, up to the western Great Lakes. Florida still getting socked in with some rain, but the East Coast and the West Coast kind of quiet. A little tropical wave going on here, northwestern Caribbean Sea. Looking at several computer models, some of them are indicating that we may see some moisture from this. Not that we're expecting it to develop into anything, but we could see some moisture into South Texas by Friday and Saturday. So I've put rain back in the forecast for those days, although I do think that the rain showers will be fairly light, and it should not be a very heavy downpour type of a rain. Also watching several tropical waves which just sort of dissipate once they get off the coast of Africa, and that is because as we look at our water temperatures here, and you can see this orange shading here, that's the 80-degree mark on our loop, and you really need water temperatures of at least 80 degrees to see development of hurricanes. And you'll notice that's why in this time of the year we do watch the western Caribbean Sea and Gulf of Mexico, because the water is not quite as deep there, and therefore it does have a chance to heat up quicker, and that's where we see the development this time of the year of those types of storms. Tomorrow's weather looks an awful lot like today. It's going to be another hot and sticky day. Forecast for the rest of this evening, 76 degrees, maybe a lingering shower with some scattered clouds, light southeasterly wind, low about 76 degrees, 91 degrees tomorrow, again some isolated showers, and a southeasterly wind 12 to 16 miles an hour with some higher gusts. And we'll have a 5-day outlook, which could include some tropical moisture coming up at 6 o'clock.
Donald, I better get on my lawn tomorrow.
You better do it quick.
All right, thanks, Bill. Well, another silver lining in the crisis in Kosovo is some U.S. troops.
And the movie include Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Chris Rock. Turning now to our weather, which is getting better all the time.
Getting better all the time. It's about time we start drying out. Do you have a lawn?
No.
You don't?
Yes, I do.
You're lucky. Kind of a lawn. It's going to need to be mowed after the next couple of days because it's
you mow it.
No. My lawnmower's broken, actually. I'd have somebody do it because my lawnmower's on the blink. But yeah, it's drying out. In fact, we have clear skies this evening. It's very, very nice outside. 82 degrees. It's a dash muggy. Dew point temperature 76. Relative humidity 82%. Pressure is 2985 with a southeasterly wind. Now at 12 miles per hour. So it's fairly comfortable. But temperatures around the state, you know, considering that it's almost 10 o'clock in the evening, it's still very, very warm. 80s most of the state, and of course you factor in the fact that it's so sticky. There's a heat index, even at this time of the night, feeling like 90 degrees here in Corpus Christi. It feels like 94 degrees in Laredo. Now, this afternoon, our high temperature made it to 90 degrees on the nozzle. This morning, we were down to 76. Normals are 74 and 91. Record high for today, 96 degrees, and we picked up a third of an inch of rain. Yesterday, we picked up almost a half an inch, and the day before that, we picked up 1.5 inches of rain. So we're doing pretty good in the old water department, but there is a little bit more rain possibly on the the way, but certainly only sprinkles, nothing like we've been seeing. And in fact, satellite shot showing you a lot of moisture in western portions of Texas, streaming all the way up into the central plain states where we've seen some severe weather today, and in fact, severe thunderstorm watch boxes here in the yellow all over the place. It's a very strong line of storms moving through the Dakotas into western portions of Minnesota. Also, some very heavy rains along the Gulf Coast into sections of Florida, where once again, Orlando, Florida is getting some rain down towards Miami and then stretching down towards the Keys. A little bit of rain there on the Cape, and other than that, we're in pretty good shape. But as we take a little bit closer look to home, you will see some rain around Texas, and in fact, up around the Houston area, seeing rain earlier today, stretching up towards Oklahoma City, and also into western Texas. And you notice El Paso getting some rain. Well, this is what it looked like around there a little bit earlier. They have had a lot of flooding because of their torrential rainfalls, and you can see this car doing something that you should absolutely not do, and that is drive through this, there you go, okay, not the thing to do. Now, I don't know what the IQ of this person was, but needless to say, they were not a rocket scientist, but okay, I'm not going to harp on that. But see what can happen? This is exactly why we tell you don't drive through rushing water. Anyway, no rushing water around here this evening. We're in pretty good shape. In fact, things are drying out, and they should stay dried out really for the next couple of days. And you know what? This new computer that we have updated the rainfall totals just recently for like the last several hours, and it is blank now. But you'll have to take my word for it. Most folks received under a quarter of an inch of rain or a half an inch of rain today. So that's pretty good news. And you know, it's tropical weather season here, so we're going to take a look at the Gulf of Mexico. High pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, keeping things nice and quiet, but we do have an area of low pressure, northwestern Caribbean Sea. It's drifting off towards the north and west. It's pretty much an upper level low right now, but it's possible that it could, the pressures could fall closer to the surface. That's when we'll have to watch this, but for right now, things are pretty good. By the way, in the eastern Pacific, what was at one time Hurricane Adrian is no longer anything to worry about, but we are keeping an eye on a couple of little areas of disturbed weather, southern portions of Mexico. Another wave coming off the coast of Africa that we're watching, and we're watching it because it's a wave and some strong thunderstorms. However, the water temperatures are still fairly cool here, and just historically, this is not the area you look for development this time of the year. We basically watch the western Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Now, our temperatures tonight, expecting much like we had last night, mid to upper 70s for low temperatures, high temperatures tomorrow, again in the lower 90s, but with all that rain we've had and the moisture in the atmosphere on the ground, as it heats up, it's going to steam things up and be very, very muggy much of the afternoon. So heat indices should warm up into the low 100s once again. And weather-wise, pretty much like we had for today. Basically, a lot of sunshine. Here's our forecast for the rest of this evening. 76 degrees, maybe an isolated, scattered shower overnight tonight. Most folks won't have that. In fact, I'd like to have taken that out of there, quite frankly. 91, maybe a scattered, isolated storm for tomorrow. Sunrise is at 6:35. Sunsetting tomorrow night is at 8:29. And on our 5-day forecast, ooh, a little shimmy and shake going on there. Looks good. We've got a nice week coming up. We'll be drying out. If you've got a little bit of lawn that needs to be mowed, Bob, this is the time to do it. 91 degrees for tomorrow and 92 the rest of the week for high temperatures.
Hope that driver's okay.
Yeah, me too.
Investigators are looking